watching CNC3.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News here on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Network. I am Bhavita Gopal-Chana. Thank you so much for joining us. We begin with news that the United States has ordered additional ships to the Southern Caribbean as part of its President Donald Trump's effort to address threats from Latin America drug cartels. According to a Reuters report, the USS Lake Erie, a guided missile cruiser, and the USS Newport News, a nuclear-powered fast attack submarine, are expected to arrive in the region by early next week. No specific mission has been announced, but a source told the agency that the recent deployments are aimed at addressing threats to U.S. national security posed by specially designated narco-terrorist organizations in the region. The report added that last week the United States ordered an amphibious squadron to the Southern Caribbean as part of the same effort. The ships are carrying approximately 4,500 service members, including 2,200 Marines. Well, as he issued a word of caution, former government minister Mariano Brown said Trinidad and Tobago should not be overly concerned about the United States deploying additional warships into the region. On CNC3's The Morning Brew program, Brown described the move as saber-rattling rather than a compelling action. He explained that the ships would remain in international waters, and given TNT's long-standing non-alignment principles, the deployment should not be a cause for concern.
Century warships in the Caribbean. None of our business. It's as long as they're international waters, we can't do anything about it. And even if they were closer, we wouldn't be able to do anything about it either. In which case, you take a blind eye to it, you say what you have to say, and you don't get involved in it. And I think that would be the position.
Brown added that he does not believe the United States will attack Venezuela given its many other international engagements at this time. But regional expert Dr. Gavin Hura says Trinidad and Tobago should not dismiss the United States deployment of 2 additional warships to the region as mere theater. He explained that while there have always been joint security and policing exercises between the Caribbean and the United States, TNT should not simply sit back and observe, but instead take a proactive role.
What we have to do is to be very proactive. We have to be very structured in our thinking. We have to be also in our planning. And just as I said in another place, we'll have to be exploring our consequences and what ifs that if this zone of peace as has been promulgated in the public domain goes in a next direction, it can end up being a conflict zone.
Hero is speaking on CNC3's The Morning Brew program today. Well, Minister of Defense Wayne Sturge says the government remains committed to ensuring this country's troops have the resources, training and infrastructure they need to serve with excellence. Over the weekend, Sturge toured both Camp Loromine and Camp Ogden, where he met with service members and engaged directly with Defense Force personnel. The Defense Minister also commended the troops for their outstanding work at both camps. 2 American fugitives arrested in Loromine last week have been deported to the United States to face drug trafficking charges. Tevin Williams and Zakia Williams were picked up by officers of the Transnational Organized Crime Unit and the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration's Vetted Unit on August 19th. They were wanted in California and New York after skipping court in 2023 while on pre-trial release for narcotics offenses. A deportation order was signed on August 21st by the Minister of National Security, and the pair was flown out the following day under escort from U.S. Marshals, Diplomatic Security Service agents, and TTPS officers. Investigators had been tracking the fugitives since March after receiving intelligence that they were hiding in this country. Both now face federal charges in the United States. Now to this, police are investigating the sudden death of a 3-month-old baby boy in Cunupir. Around 9:30 a.m. on Monday, 24-year-old Sultana Alham took her son, Nasir Maharaj, to the Cunupir Health Center after finding him unresponsive at home. Doctors checked for signs of life, but the infant was pronounced dead. Police say the mother last saw her baby alive around 1 a.m. that day when she put him to bed. She discovered him unresponsive 8 hours later. Officers from the Cunupia police station responded, and investigators say doctors found no marks of violence and do not suspect foul play. The baby's body has been taken to the Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex for a post-mortem to determine the cause of death. On other local developments, the TNT Automotive Dealers Association is seeking a meeting with Transport and Civil Aviation Minister Eli Zakur, as President Vishan Baba warns of the fallout from the Bureau of Standards' decision to close the tire inspection unit at the Vamcott station in San Fernando. The closure is set for August 29th. Speaking with CNC3 News on Monday, President Vishan Baba said the TGBS told the association that inspections would now be conducted in-house at car dealerships and at the premises of private importers. But Baba believes this could be a recipe for disaster, as they already have to wait 5 days to have tires inspected on cars, and more bureaucracy will just frustrate the system.
When they move to a full scale into that, it will be a much longer process. So we will have to wait maybe 5 or 10 days to get these tires inspected, then have a car registered. I did ask the question if this was approved by the minister. However, I did not get any answer.
He'd also like to meet with the Minister of Trade, Investment and Tourism. CNC3 News contacted the communications manager for the ministry, Kirk Mehu, who advised Babwa to forward its concerns to the ministry and the TTBS, the inspection station as well. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Get the best and affordable eyewear. Frames with blue filter lenses and eye exam, $399. Single vision lenses with transitions on designer frames, $799. Progressive transitions with designer frames, $1,399. Happening only at Seaview Optical. Affordable eye care for everyone.
Kickstart your career in IT with the BSc Information Technology from the University of Bedfordshire, delivered at CTS College. The BSc Information Technology equips students for the latest jobs in the IT field. Benefit from online learning environment, dedicated program manager, WhatsApp groups with students and lecturers, shared drive with lecture notes, recordings, assignments, and more. Tutorial support for assignments. Email CTS College on study@ctscollege.com.
You can tell from the crowd who's up next. It's Trinray's star player, whose world-class stats put him in a league of his own. Trinray's risen to become a true force to be reckoned with. With an unbeaten Carry A rating, they boast a strong solvency and A-class service. Ladies and gentlemen, you're witnessing Trinray's financial and technical strength at its best.
Trinray, premier insurance coverage for less.
Great deals with PRW Back to School. Save big with laptops starting from $3,100. Sky 7-inch tablet only $465. Need a printer? We've got it starting from $625. Get a 40-inch RCA TV only $1,850. 19.5-inch LG monitor $699. Secure your home with our security combo starting from $3,000. Call PRW today 285-9779. Check us in store for keyboards, webcams, stationery, and lots more.
Rain has interrupted play in the cricket West Indies Rising Stars under-17 cricket this morning in Cuba. Windward Islands were 61-1 when rain stopped play at Gilbert Park in California. It also interrupted matches at the Ancient Alley Park in Brazil, where Guyana 37-1 in the 8th over against Barbados, and at the National Cricket Center in Balmain, where Jamaica are 32 without loss against the Leewards in the 8th over. That's it. The sport is back to a break.
The Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ, teaching the truth about God's people, God's plans, and the secrets of God, all written within the pages of the Holy Bible, which is the Word of God. Watch The Hidden Truth every Thursday at 5:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. on CNC3.
Tell from the world-class stats put him in a league of his own. Trinray's risen to become a true force to be reckoned with. With an unbeaten Carry A rating, they boast a strong solvency and A-class service. Ladies and gentlemen, you're witnessing Trinray's financial and technical strength at its best.
Trinray, premier insurance coverage for less.
The Spellbound Caravan is coming to you, featuring the Hive of 5, Saturday, September 6th at Gulf City Mall, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Get ready to experience our thrilling interactive zone, where kids and adults explore the UN Sustainable Development Goals in a fun and creative way. Test your knowledge and get the chance to win prizes and giveaways from our amazing sponsors, photo ops with the Spellbound hosts, and so much more. The Spellbound Caravan is brought to you by the Ministry of Planning, Economic Affairs and Development, Quicks, Vital Supplies, Diana Candy, Ferrero Optical, Bell Grooves, Amco, and Happy Land.
Some of us like to test limits, but there won't always be second chances. Obey the speed limits. Maybe you don't value your life, but others value theirs. A message from the TTPS.
Israel is facing fierce condemnation after a pair of strikes on a Gaza hospital killed 5 journalists as well as medical workers and others on Monday. According to the Palestinian Minister of Health, at least 20 people were killed in the attack and many more injured. Reports say Israel carried out back-to-back strikes on the Nasser hospital by only a matter of minutes. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu later conceded that journalists and first responders had been killed, referring to their deaths as a tragic mishap. Well, bandits have targeted another place of worship, this time in Sangre Grande. On Monday, an employee of the Kailash Hindu Mandir along Gajada Road, Sangre Grande, discovered several pots and chairs covered with sponge in the yard. Further inspection revealed that a wooden wall on the side of the building had been smashed and the interior of the temple ransacked. Among the items reported missing were an air conditioning unit, 20 chairs, 3 pots, and 6 folding tables. The temple was last occupied on Wednesday, August 20th, and no one had permission to enter the premises. A report was made to the Sangre Grande police station, and investigators later found workable fingerprints at the scene. Still on the local front, as the Hindu community prepares to celebrate Ganesh Utsav tomorrow, a Hindu festival that recognizes the birth of Lord Ganesha. Celebrations started this morning in Felicity with a massive motorcade throughout the community. The parade showcased a locally made clay murti of the Hindu deity. Ganesh Utsav celebrations entail a Ganesh Puran Yajna that would run nightly until September 5th. Then the murti would be immersed in the Kunupia River at the end of the Kakandi Road.
Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. The Felicity Ganesh South Festival Committee warmly invites the family to join with us in Maha Ganapati Utsav Celebration 2025 at Ganesh Raghunatha Residence, 229 Kakandi Road, Felicity. Let us join with millions of devotees all over the world as we celebrate Ganesh Utsav celebration.
Ganesh is known for wisdom, prosperity, and good fortune. It's now time to check in with Jamak Rampasad for the weather forecast.
As expected, we got those showers this morning over most areas, some of them becoming moderate to heavy over eastern areas and an isolated thunderstorm over North Trinidad. For the remainder of the day, we can expect similar conditions to continue with the possibility of 1 or 2 more thunderstorms this afternoon over both islands. Now taking a wider look, we have 2 tropical waves to our east. The closer of the 2 is expected to bring some showers overnight and isolated thunderstorms into tomorrow. The other wave is struggling a bit because it's surrounded by a lot of Saharan dust, which we can expect to get here by Friday.
Thank you, Jean-Marc, and thank you for joining us for a look at today's developments so far. We'll have these stories and so much more coming up for you in a Midday Newscast at 7 p.m. today. Until then, have a great day.